This video was sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can visit their store by using my referral link in the description below. So, Flump is fine, but not really the rare you want. Hama, Pashar, and Kreidel are both pretty strong, but their color pairs aren't so strong that I normally want to take them over good monocolored cards. So I think, Genie Windseer has good stats. It's a nice creature. Precipitous Drop and Priest of Ancient Lore are both quite good too. Priest of Ancient Lore basically gives you a 2-for-1. Precipitous Drop can sort of give you a 2-for-1, but not quite. So, yeah. I think we probably take Precipitous Drop. Kreidel's good, but the blue-black deck is just... yeah, you can lose to him, of course, but that deck just doesn't come together consistently enough for me. So I think we're just going to take the removal that ventures. I think it's just better overall in this format. Okay. This pack, meanwhile, has much fewer attractive options. I'm leaning towards Lurking Roper. I don't really like to troll a whole lot. This is a little clunky for the format. Charmed Sleep is an okay removal spell, but it being blue kind of means you want to steer clear of it unless you have other reasons to be in blue, just because blue is that much worse in this format, unfortunately. It's one of the problems with it. So I think we'll take the Roper. It's good in basically any deck. Even if you end up being like a grindier deck, it's a pretty great way to stonewall opposing creatures. And if you have ways to gain life, it obviously gets a lot better. I haven't had any technical problems with Arena today. I didn't stream yesterday. Okay, so we probably take Hunter's Mark. It's a great removal spell against everyone. Against blue, it's insane. It's better than Spoils of the Hunt, though that is also a very good card. But yeah, we'll take Hunter's Mark here. Loyal Warhound. So, great 2-drop. Just like if it were 2-mana 3/1 Vigilance, you'd play that in this format every day. But in addition to that, it can also ramp you when things line up the right way. And I think it's just better than Planar Ally, or you hear something on Watch, both of which are fine. This is a little more reactive than you want if you're an aggro deck. But, and Planar Ally, a little clunky, but it can get you through dungeons late if the game gets late, and that's pretty sweet. So I think we take Loyal Warhound here. Inspiring Bard is fine, Bull Strength is fine, but I think the Warhound's enough better than all that stuff that we take it. Okay, white looks reasonably open. We do have a Price of Loyalty here, but we haven't seen that much more black-red wise to make us really think that's where we want to go. So basically this pick is between the Priest of Ancient Lore and Dwarfhold Champion. The Priest does synergize with Lurking Roper because it'll untap it when it comes into play. Dwarfhold Champion is a pretty strong 2-drop. I think we probably take the Priest. I do like the Champion, but I think the Priest is a little better. If we, we could end up with a bunch of equipment, in which case, obviously, the other card would be better, but yeah. Ray of Enfeeblement's not bad, but I do think we're probably looking at Owlbear or Dwarfhold Champion here. As important as 2-drops are, I think Owlbear... Yeah, I don't know. You really do need 2-drops in this format. I'm trying to decide if I want to go hard after the Dwarfhold Champion. I think we go with the Owlbear in the end. It's just a nice little creature. All right, so nothing great here. We will take a Circle of Moon Druid. It's perfectly playable. Paladin Shield is something you only play if you're in the red-white deck and you have like a million equipment payoffs. So this pack also not looking great for us. Dungeon Crawler's fine if we end up with a dungeony deck. And Delver's Torch is fine too. We'll probably take the Torch here. Over Crawler, just given that we're a little deeper in white. We're not crazy deep in white, and maybe the fact that this is still here is a signal, but I think we'll take the Torch there. Okay, so the question is, do I want Flump for? And by the way, this shows you how, he is really good on his own. He's absolutely insane, but the deck itself is so hard to make come together that it's just kind of a bummer. But okay, so we've got Flump here, which is fine, as I said earlier, but maybe we just want Evolving Wilds. The Bard's okay too, but I think Wilds really makes your mana better, and that does matter. Okay, so I don't love the Longbow. I probably just take Hexblade, on the off chance we end up shifting into a different kind of deck. We could consider Spike Pit Trap, but yeah, we'll take that. So we'll take the Fiddlebender. He's a 2-drop. I don't think we'll ever actually use his ability, but sometimes people you know, see a gold symbol on a card and freak out. So maybe we'll get them to burn removal. Bard's fine. Also works with our Roper. And if we're green-white, the theme is life gain. Right now, we're not really getting there on that theme. But, ooh, I love that. Last pick Dwarfhold Champion. Okay, so this pack's interesting. So Celestial Unicorn is one of these powerful payoffs for gaining life. Then we also have another Priest of Ancient Lore, which gains us life and, you know, is 2 for 1 most of the time. Spoils of the Hunt is a good removal spell. Hill Giant Herd Gorger is pretty good top curve, and Intrepid Outlander is a great 2-drop. So this pack is stacked for us. It's unfortunate that it's all in one pack. So right now, we have what, like 2 ways of gaining life? I think we probably still take the Outlander. It's just such a good 2-drop. I do like both of these. Although maybe finding 2-drops is a little more replaceable than the Celestial Unicorn. And yeah, the Priest is really good too. It's true. But I think we take the 2 here. Outlander's real good. Okay, so this pack is interesting. We've got Battlecry Goblin, which is one of the best cards in the set. Certainly, these 2 both are contenders for best uncommon, but of course, we're not in either of their colors. Meanwhile, this pack isn't very strong for us. We've got Dawnbringer Cleric and Circle of the Moon Druid, and then +2 Mace. Not great things. Potion of Healing isn't bad if you have enough life gain. It's easier to splash Reaper's Talisman, and we already have a black card, so I think I take the Talisman over the Goblin in the end. I think we're deep enough in green. We don't really want to be leaving it for just a Battlecry Goblin, and splashing the Talisman makes way more sense. So yeah. And Battlecry Goblin, you got to play at the right time, and you can't always do that when you're splashing. So we'll take Talisman there. I wish this card actually worked in Limited, but it doesn't. It is a cool card, though. So this is another pack that's not great for us. It's got a Sepulchre Ghoul and a Hobgoblin Captain for other people. For us, you know, this is okay fixing, but overall it seemed clunkier than what you want to be doing in this format. I don't like Compelled Duel a whole lot, especially if I'm not like pack tacticsing all over the place. Hobgoblin Captain's really good. Keen-Eared Sentry, less so by a lot. I guess I'll take it. I mean, it's a 2-drop. So, okay. So here we take Trelasara for sure, and we start going harder on life gain. Giving up the Containment is kind of rough, and it's not like we have a ton of removal, but I think Trelasara is good enough that we take it over Containment given where we're headed. Yeah. Take Direwolf Prowler. It's been a little better than I expected overall. Okay, Sylvan Shepherd fits well into our deck. We definitely need to find more life gain payoffs in this last pack. If we do, I think we'll be in business. Are we more interested in a trick or an equipment? Probably the trick, honestly. It's not a bad one. Yeah, it's what we'll take here. Okay, we'll take this. Maybe we'd rather have Underdark Basilisk. We have a little bit of equipment, but... And we are fairly aggressive, I guess. And we don't have a lot of equipment. We do have some, but as I said, Green Dragon's been kind of a bummer. Which 2-drop do I want more? I think we take the Basilisk. It's just a lot more flexible, better on more board states, and really good with Spoils of the Hunt. And we already have one other fight spell, so that feels pretty good to pick up the 2 fight spells when you take a Death Toucher. All right. I don't think we have so many life gain payoffs that we take Potion of Healing here. It's unlikely we get so many for it to be worth it. So we'll take the Mace, which I don't love, but... The Dragon's okay top end, but I think it's fairly replaceable. Like, honestly, the Herd Gorger is better than the Dragon in this deck. So right now, I don't think I would splash the drop. I think I would just splash Talisman. Yeah. We'll see if we even do that, but... Thank you for the follow, Aerith and Jayla Pela. All right, here we'll take a Compelled Duel. I kind of doubt we do anything with it, but... So, more life gain payoffs would be good. We do have the Roper and Trelasara, which is a good start. But, like, 2 Unicorns in this last pack, I think, would really bring our deck together. Or, like, you know, another Trelasara or two would as well. Okay. Okay. So, Vorpal Sword, not really something you can splash, so we're not going to take it here. It is pretty good if you're base black, but we're not. I think we probably want the Innkeeper, who has a repeatable life gain effect that can really stack and go crazy. Plus, he gives us fixing. So, and we're already planning on splashing, so that's really important too. So I think we probably take the Innkeeper here. I wouldn't mind, you know, Planar Ally, Monk of the Open Hand wheeling, but we're going to take the Innkeeper. Or even the Ranger. Alright, here I think we'll grab a Minimus Containment. We are short on removal, and it's pretty good removal-wise, and this 2-drop's not very good. So, yeah, we'll take Containment here. I haven't really ever drafted in this format, like a real life gain deck. I don't know that I'd say we've quite gotten there on a quote-unquote real life gain deck either at this point, but hopefully we do. So we're looking at Owlbear or Herdgorger. We do kind of need this top end. I mean, a second Owlbear would be nice, but I think grabbing Herdgorger here probably it works for me. We're doing okay on 2-drops. I wouldn't mind another Basilisk, of course. Wouldn't mind the Paladin either, but I think we grab a Herdgorger here. Yeah, I don't want any of this. Yeah, plus it gives us life, of course. Yeah, I mean, that matters. Let's just take a dragon. Someone else can have that Paladin shield. So, splashing Brunor is tempting. We have 3 pieces of equipment. Pretty tempting. We could also just take a Null Hunter, which is a great 2-drop. I think splashing Brunor is probably getting a little too cute in general. So we'll just take the Null Hunter here. Evolving Wilds would make it easier for us to splash the Talisman, but I don't think we're so desperate for that we have to go that route. Yeah, I think we'll take the Hunter. It's a good 2-drop. Okay, so I think we take another Spoils here. Picking up another one of those Death Touch guys would be good at this point. That's a pretty late Sepulchre Ghoul. Take another Bull's Strength. I doubt we play more than one. Doesn't look like we're going to get any unicorns, which is kind of a bummer. We ended up with only 2 life gain payoffs, I think, so we're mostly an aggro deck with a life gain sub-theme that will occasionally Trelasara will just take over the game, which is cool. Half-Elf Monk might make the cut. Yeah, I don't really want any of that. I don't think this Mace is going to make the cut, and its Torch probably isn't either. Yeah, I gave this like a D+. It's more like a C. My What I Got Wrong video should be coming out this week, some point. Okay. Don't think we're getting any other real cards. Yeah, like Innkeeper plus Trelasara can just take over games. We kind of hope that happens. Ooh. I don't hate this Paladin. We have enough creatures that I think having one around is probably a good idea. Don't really want his shield, though. Yeah, we'll take... I mean, I don't think we want a second Paladin. We'll take the You Find a Cursed Idol there. I kind of doubt it makes it into our deck, but... second Paladin wouldn't either, and at least the You Find a Cursed Idol gives us, like, a different sort of effect. You know? So... okay. So, first of all, I think we can probably get away with one swamp if we splash the Talisman, and I may not even splash it. It's probably getting a little cute to splash it. I mean, you do need to play it at the right time. Our mana is going to be a lot better if we just don't do it. And it's good, but I don't think it's so good that we want to splash it off of what we've got. And the Talisman, obviously, if we ended up with more life gain payoffs, I'd probably be more into the Talisman. But with only 2 between Trelisara and the Roper, doesn't really seem worth it to me. We have plenty of 2-drops. I think that probably means we can cut this super mediocre one. The rest are actually pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with the rest of these 2s. Do I want you find a cursed idol in my main deck? I mean, I have Minimus Containment that can deal with any non-land permanent, so probably not. I think this is probably what our deck ends up looking like here. Got a lot of creatures, so Paladin's going to often be pretty good to play on curve. I mean, Oswald Fiddlebender's not great either as far as 2s go. We could consider cutting it for something else, because we're never going to be doing anything with it, other than having him be a 2-mana 2/2. What I would put in instead is probably the Torch. Yeah. I think just having another 2 is fine. I mean, the Torch is a decent card, but it's not incredible. Like, both of these have ended up... As good as equipment is in the set, these 2 are sort of the bottom of the barrel ones. That, I mean, you'll play them, especially in red-white. And sometimes you'll play them in other decks, too, but they're not great. You know, they're just a little too slow. You really get blown out if your opponent removes something in response to removal, or in response to you equipping. Like, it's just kind of a disaster. So, yeah, I think that's probably where we leave things and go from here. Looks like a pretty good deck overall, I think. I mean, it's nothing fancy, that's for sure. But, you know. We don't really have any, like, overwhelming bombs or anything like that. We do have a pretty good curve out here. 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop. I mean, the Torch is nice, especially when games go late, because it can grind out so much value, but that just happens way less than you'd think in this format. So Trelisara into Moon Druid, probably, and then into Bard. It'll be interesting to see whether gaining life with the Bard is better. Ooh, interesting. So next turn, I can play the Warhound and get a free land. That's probably what I end up doing. We'll play Trelisara here. These 2 1-drops are pretty scary. It almost feels like we're playing that Kaldheim deck. You know, the Kaldheim black-white double spell deck where you just, like, play a bunch of 1-drops. Cause... Oh, God. That's not good. That is not good. We need to find one of our answers for that now, basically. Because he starts going nuts if we don't. Okay. I think I probably still play Warhound here. Yeah, play Warhound. Ramp. And end our turn and hope we can trade the Warhound for Nadar, but I wouldn't hold my breath about that. I am Paulos, I'm good. We would have loved a Nadar. I mean, every white deck would. He's so good. Oh boy. So they're halfway through the dungeon now. And Nadar enables... Oh man, are they going to put a counter? Oh, they can't yet, at least. And so if we can't kill Nadar soon... we are going to be in some very real trouble. Because he'll pump the whole board. Is it worth an attack with our Warhound here if we hold up Bull's strength? Kind of think it is. It does take away our creature who can effectively block Nadar, and if they block with the 3/4, I'm kind of in trouble. So probably not, actually. You can become a 4/4 if I leave mana up. You'll be a 2/4 on their turn. And I'll be leaving mana up, whether it's for Bull's Strength or something else. I could also play the Bard to make this a 3/3, which would also give me another 3/3. That's not terrible. So next turn, what they can do is play Ranger's Hawk's ability, then attack with Nadar, and then their whole board's going to pump. So that's all really bad news, I would say. I think we play the Druid and in the turn. So this is going to get ugly. Although I guess if they attack with Nadar, I can take him down and they'll lose that buff. It's not like it's an emblem. So that's good news, I think. Looks like that's where they're headed. Maybe they'll just attack with a 4/5, I guess. It's a definite possibility, or they won't attack at all. Okay. Actually pretty good here. So they're going the slower route because they can just venture again this turn, and then... yeah. So do I want to play the Paladin here? All it really enables is me to attack with the Circle of Moon Druid, but it does give me another 4/4. I think that's probably worth it. Now, I could play the Bard, and that would also let me still leave up Bull's Strength. Same with the Prowler. But I think this is probably optimal. We'll attack with the Druid. You know, when your opponent's about to get an Anthem effect, even a chump block feels okay. Okay. So they're just wanting to pump their board. They're not concerned at all with attacking with Nadar, which makes sense, because he would be at significant risk if they did. Okay. She does scry, which is pretty nice. So I think I attack with Circle of the Moon Druid and Devoted Paladin here. I do get 2-for-1 potentially, depending on how they block, but I think that's okay. Let's attack with both these big boys. Yeah, trait there's fine if that's what we end up deciding to do. If that's all they're doing, I'd probably still use Bull's Strength on the Circle of Moon Druid here. Yeah, I'd rather use it there, though, for sure. So I get to kill both of those? You're going to let me kill both of those? I'm down. I'm a little surprised by that. They have 1 black mana, so they could have Ray of Enfeeblement. That could be what they have here that completely blows us out. But I think we go for it. Oh, thank God. We just destroyed most of their board. I'm down with that. Prowler. I mean, Bard for the Scry and the life gain seems pretty good. Yeah, Feign Death could have been a thing, too. Yes, please. Removal to get rid of that Paladin would be great. What's happening? I feel uneasy. I can't imagine that they have nothing. Settle the wreckage? I don't know. So let's attack with everything. We have Spoils of the Hunt to interfere with things if we have to. Like if they try to use a trick or something like that. I could have played the Prowler and given it haste, but like that seems like overkill. I think Feign Death's okay. I think you cut it a lot, honestly, but I think it's okay and okay playable. So let's let these things happen. Let's see what our opponent has. What's happening over there? I don't understand it. So we'll play our Prowler. Do they have a... There just aren't Wrath effects. Okay, that makes a little more sense now. That does make a little more sense. But it's still pretty rough for them overall, I think. I mean, all my creatures are bigger than a Manticore is. That has double strike. That's kind of a problem. Do I try to Spoils of the Hunt here when we might get blown out? Kind of think we do. Nice. It worked. Ooh. So it's probably better to play the Herd Gorger here than it is to buff our Prowler. And we might as well do it in our first main phase because of Trelasara. So yeah, let's play our Herd Gorger here. I think we'll take another body. It's not the most impressive one on this board state, but it is a body. I think we'll hold off on attacking with the Prowler. Maybe we should have, just because we have this huge creature that demands a blocker. So if what they did was trade with our Prowler, it wouldn't have exactly been disastrous. Wonder what they have. Seems like they have something. They just weren't sure they wanted to use it. Probably you hear something on watch, like if I had to guess. They were like, do I want to kill one of these now or kill that Hill Giant? Well, you can't kill the Herd Gorger with it, actually, without a block, too. That is certainly obnoxious. Alright, so I think we just swing out here. They can kill Trelasara, of course. But our deck isn't exactly built around her. She's just like a little bonus effect. They could have another Manticore, of course. But they're dead, so I don't know if they did. I mean, you can free-to-play draft as long as you have a win percentage, basically, of 60 or higher. You can basically go infinite. But I guess that's not something everybody does. That was a weird match. I don't know what was going on there. It was almost like our opponent left and let someone else play the rest of the game for them. I haven't looked at any of the new avatars or sleeves. I'm not the best person to ask about those things because those sorts of aesthetic things aren't really things I pay attention to unless it involves birds, like my bird sleeves. then I'm on board. All right, pretty good hand. Slow start for a red-white deck, that's for sure. So they're playing leather armor, which almost definitely means they have like 2 of the 5/3 dwarf guy who's gonna ruin our lives. That's almost always what that means. So, all right, so play a roper here. We have 2 creatures that can block that unicorn fairly effectively. Well, not this turn. Uh-oh. It's our rare Oswald Fiddlebender. So I could kill that unicorn now. With my Hunter's Mark. And then just swing with both my creatures. That's not too bad. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. So, obviously, Lurking Roper's not going to untap, but it will eventually. Because of Herdgorger. We still have another removal spell, too, so... That's part of the reason. I mean, this can get out of hand and in a hurry, so I think getting rid of it was wise. I mean, they are in red-white, so maybe they weren't really going to abuse it, but I was still concerned enough about it. All right, so I think we play our 2 drops before we play Half-Elf Monk here. Fiddlebender's not... I mean, it's mediocre and limited for sure. Ooh, well, there's a good Minimus containment target. Although it is tempting to just go after their creature on this board state. Because they've only got, you know, no creatures. Might just be better to go after their creature with containment. There's a decent chance they draw another creature. I mean, that's kind of a problem. I think maybe just playing Half-Elf Monk is better than either of those, though. Yeah, we'll play Half-Elf Monk here. Hope they can't do 10 to us. Land would be good. Hey, there's a land. So now I don't have to containment because this will untap. I think we just play our Herdgorger now. Gets us up to 9. Untaps our Roper and we swing out. Seems pretty good. It's not like they're countering anything. They could kill the Roper, I guess, in response. With, like, Faraday's Fireball or something. But I think we'd still be in pretty good shape. Yeah, that is what they had. Darn, that only damaged me. Luckily, I do still go up to 7. Drop them to 5. We've still got containment. Hope they didn't draw plate armor or something. That's not what we want to see. They did draw an equipment, but it was not a good one to draw for them in that situation. Hand of Vecna. I do like Thopters. You know, they're close to birds, so... They're like the artifact version of birds, you know? Looks pretty good. I mean, a 2-drop would be nice, and we do have a pile of them, but, you know, got a couple cards here that help us get back from behind. Okay. Hey, we drew a 2-drop. Looks like they're in on the 2-color deck. Or 2-color. Die roll deck, the blue-red die roll deck. Do I want to trade for that hulking bugbear? Yeah, I kind of think I do, given what our hand is like. We did have a Spoils of the Hunt, but, you know. So let's play the Roper. I can actually attack with it next turn and then play the Priest. You know... Blue-white flyers isn't always my... I do like it as a limited archetype, but I like grindy value archetypes the most, generally. And most of the time, blue-white skies is just an aggro deck, you know? So, I like it, but I don't love it, I guess, is what I'm telling you. Scry 2. Shouldn't I take a damage? I guess it's about to happen. There it is. Ooh. Well, there's not... We don't have to use it, so I don't think I'm actually going to. I think we just attack with the Roper here. So we can actually get a pretty insane blowout if things line up perfectly. We could play our Intrepid Outlander. Well, probably won't be that much of a blowout, I guess. So I think we just play the Outlander here and hold up Hunter's Mark, though. I could play Priest of the Ancient Lore to untap my Roper, but it can't tap the... it can't block the Windseer anyway, so... They do have Spiked Pit Trap, which will make it harder if they play a 5th land here, and they do... Oh, it's an Evolving Wilds, so that's actually passable. Alright, I think what we're going to do here is block. We're going to go for the blowout here. And then we use Hunter's Mark to kill the dwarf. Oh, I can't do it that way. Shoot. Because I have to target... That's annoying. That was a dumb block. Alright, well... we're still going to do it. I don't love it. They have a response anyway, it looks like. So I think I F'd that one up pretty badly. Yep. Yep. Tried to go for too much value there, and obviously it didn't work. We can still kill the Windseer, though, and we've still got a lot of gas, so I can maybe overcome my foolishness. Let's play the Priest here. And attack with our Roper. Drop him to 12. Playing the Bard to gain life is probably optimal too, as opposed to pumping something, but it'll depend on what the board looks like, obviously. They can spike... Oh, that's annoying. Don't roll more than a... Yeah, just one goblin. I can handle one goblin. Okay. So Bard here to gain life, just to untap and then I don't attack, is probably what we end up doing here. They probably use the Pit Trap to kill our Roper. I can live with that, though. Yeah. So Pit Trap to kill the Roper. No treasure. Yeah, we'll trade for that. That 2-for-1 definitely feels like it's going to come back to get us, doesn't it? And it probably should. Yeah, let's play the Paladin here and attack with our Priest. Actually, it's not a very good attack. I mean, I think playing the Paladin's fine just because we needed a 4-4 and it used all our mana, but... Uh-oh. A second one, huh? I can deal with them both, is the good news. Okay, so... Let's hope they don't have a Ray of Enfeeblement, huh? They do not. We attack with our Paladin. Drops him to 8. We play Circle of Moon Druid. 8 TPO, 3. Oh, no. I'm glad I have Minimus Containment, but...
Oh, look, maintaining balance requires insight.
Ooh, that's a really good draw. Okay. So I think we Minimus Containment Mordenkainen. Thank God for that. And then we just swing out, and Bull Strength... Maybe not swing out. Maybe we just attack with those two, because Bull Strength... Yeah. I guess swinging out might let us sneak in lethal, but it could also just result in a devastating outcome. So it's like, I don't know. Let's do it. Okay, so if I use it here, we trample over for 3, that's 7. If we use it here, that's 6. So we may as well just use it on our Paladin to kill both of these and hold on to our creature. So their whole board will be clear, and we'll still have Circle of Moon Druid and Paladin, so that works for me. They go to 4. They say good game, but, I mean, if they can block, it's not good game yet. They do have to block them both. Oh! Okay. Too bad that only damaged me, huh? Alright. So they're still in this. They just have to block. And then they have to draw another block or a removal spell, and they don't do it. I think a Wild West set would be cool. I think that's like definitely going to happen in the future. You know, I think it would be cool if they did some sort of space-like setting. I know they're doing it in one of their weird sets that's coming out that they announced recently, but it's not like a core set, or core set's not the right word, but a standard release set. So that would be cool. I think you can pull it off within the Magic mythos, but would I have won if I put Containment on the flyer? Yeah, probably. Mordenkainen freaked me out, but getting the blocker out of the way would have won us the game too. Without Bull Strength. Probably. Right, solid. I mean, some life gain to back up Trelasara would be good, but 2 removal spells and Trelasara is not bad. So I think I'm actually going to lead with Fiddlebender because I care less if he dies. He's just a 2-mana 2/2, so... I think Commander's a really cool format, but it's also not my thing. So, it's kind of both of those. I mean, I do like Commander, and I play Commander probably a little more than I play, like, Standard and stuff, but I don't play it much. I just don't have a ton of time. Obviously, I follow all the formats because of all the videos I make, but Limited is pretty much the only format I end up having time for. If I could dedicate all my time to Magic, I'd probably play Commander before I played Standard and other stuff. So, Sylvan Shepherd. Is it better here to make a 3/3 and scry than it is to just temporarily pump something? Yeah, probably. So they're like all in on life gain. Actually, don't really want a 5th land right now. They've got Potion of Healing in play. Good indicator of that. So they probably have a lot of life gain payoffs, unlike us. The good news is we have 3 removal spells in our hand, so if we can just keep removing things and keep attacking them, we're going to be pretty okay with the situation. I know, it's not until 2023, but the Lord of the Rings set, they've said, will in fact be on Arena. So, to answer that question. So there's a really good chance that what they have here is the, do 5 to an attacking creature thing. Can't do much about that. But if what they have is a trick, I can blow them out. I mean, I think we just attack. If they trade, if they kill our Trelisara, it's not the end of the world. It's not like we have a lot of ways to abuse her from here. Yeah, so they have you hear something on watch. The question is whether I should kill their Shepherd in response with Spoils of the Hunt. I think that seems fine. If they also have a trick, we're going to get blown out, but luckily they don't. So we don't have any of our more powerful, later game cards right now, and we could definitely use some of them. Like our Owlbear, for example. Minimus Containment on Owlbear, attack for 5. Doesn't seem terrible. So that's what we'll do. Try to kill them quickly, but obviously we need to draw pretty well if we're going to succeed on that front. We need them to play smaller creatures we can kill with spoils, basically. Like a Herd Gorger here would be real bad, and they could easily have one, I mean. Okay, luckily I can kill him, but I can't kill his friend. But I can at least kill Drist, so that's good. Let's hope they don't have a way to stop us. They could. They have 2 mana thanks to our treasure. Uh-oh. Oh, thank God. Drist is gone. The 4/1's still around, and we keep drawing lands, but Drist is gone. So, with the amount of life they have, I think we probably stop attacking. I mean, the amount of life we have, too. Well, maybe we don't. Maybe we try to do more damage and hope we draw our Herd Gorger or something. I guess that's probably our best bet here. We can't really let them stabilize fully. They have so many cards in their hand still and so much mana that I'm pretty worried. But the less life I can put them at, the more likely it is I can sneak in. Wow. I wonder if that's a situation right there where our opponent being worried about a rare was beneficial for us. Because blocking the Bard was way better for them. Uh-oh. Yeah, so they're throwing down their late game cards, which probably means we're going to lose this. That helps, though. Yeah, they are doing Street Fighter and Fortnite. Both of those are just Secret Lair, small sort of drops. Whereas the Lord of the Rings thing is like an entire set, which is kind of crazy to imagine. We won't see it till 2023 at the earliest, but that's what they got going on. So I could attack here, tap down Circle of Moon Druid, and do 4 to them. That actually seems pretty good. They could quite easily have another you hear something on watch or something like that. So we get in for 4 here? Maybe. Alright, we do. Too bad they gained that life, huh? Play another creature. Well, I think we have a very real chance at finding a way to end this game in our favor. Much higher than it was a minute ago, anyway. But, yeah, I mean, White Dragon's powerful. Okay, well, the Innkeeper's going to help some. So, I could attack again here. Tap down White Dragon, but that doesn't really seem worth it this time around. We'll just end up using it on their turn, which is better. So, play the Innkeeper here. Thank you for the follow, more Daka 86. So I think we definitely tap down their White Dragon when they go to combat. I mean, we could wait until the second main phase because it's kind of unlikely they attack us anyway, and maybe we just want them to attack us. Uh-oh. But I can tap down 2 blockers either way over the course of the next few turns. I think we just let them. If they want to swing at us, I think we're okay with it because it's a blocker out of the way, and we only go to 15, so it's not exactly like we're in trouble. Alright, so we'll do this. Tap down the Druid. They must have something here, because if they don't, they're dead. I think we make them have it, certainly. So let's go to combat here. Attack with everything. Tap down Celestial Unicorn. They've got to have something. Or maybe they don't. I think our opponent forgot twice that we can attack and tap with Half-Elf Monk. So Circle of Moondruid's solid. I mean, I think I gave it a C in the set review, maybe a C+, and that's about where it is, I think. I don't think it's a great card, certainly. I wouldn't use the word great to describe it, but it's a solid common, is how I would describe the card. Yeah, I think our opponent, you know, lucky for us because we misplay all the time. I think our opponent misplayed a couple times there. So we're going to finish this format out above 60%, which is nice. We've been at like 59-ish a lot lately, so... Alright, I do think we can keep this. Not having green is a bit of a bummer, but we can play most of the cards in our hand anyway, so... Yeah. Our opponent, man, you know, the additional value Fiddlebender gives you is just that opponents are like, okay, wait, that's a rare. Who knows if they have artifacts in their deck that they can abuse with it? And the answer is basically nobody ever does. It could happen on occasion, certainly, but it just doesn't happen that often. I'm going to play the champion. Because them blocking this instead of our 3-3 was, like, kind of a big deal. Alright, so I think we swing in with Dwarfold Champion here. I'm sure they take it. Then we play Oswald. So they can obviously equip it and start attacking us, but if that's their plan, they're going to take a ton of damage before that really matters. So And that's why I don't love Thieves' Tools in this format, because if you're up against an aggro deck, it can be really problematic. To play it, not add to the board at all, and then equip it to attack with a 2/2. And granted, you know, the Fangblade will venture and all of that, which is great, but... You know, this is a race we're going to win easily, most likely, at this point, even with them venturing, so... Okay, well now it's a little more problematic. But still not really a disaster or anything, and I can even kill the Yuan Ti Fangblade if I want to. I don't know if I do want to. Probably don't. I think we'll attack with Fiddlebender here. I'm glad we drew more green. That was great. Play our Monk. Next turn, we'll probably kill the Fangblade, I guess. Although if they put a counter on it, we won't be able to, so... It'll also become blockable, though, if they put a counter on it, right? No, 3 or less, so no, I still won't be able to block it. Yeah. It's going to do some work in this game, I think. I think it's safe to say. I can still kill it, which is nice. It's a question of whether I do that or play Owlbear. I probably kill it. So the bad news for us is that our opponent's going to have, even if we kill the Fangblade, our opponent will have Pack Tactics. We do have a 1/4, though. That helps. I think we'll go ahead and kill it, the Fangblade, before things get too out of hand here, and that'll be it for our turn. And yeah, end our turn. They can still Thieves' Tools their captain. I'll probably lose to it here after talking smack about it. And I don't think it's terrible. I just think it's less good than it kind of looked, partly because the blue-black deck isn't as good as it looked. This is where we really want Trelasara, because we can start gaining life almost every turn. Yeah, so they put that on the captain. Attack for 3. We do have a fair bit of life gain, which will really help alter the race in our favor. Okay, so I think I attack with Fiddlebender here. It's not like we're going to do anything real with him, so he's going to swing in. If they want to trade a Barbarian for him, we're good with it. And then we'll play Owlbear here. You know, I guess I play Innkeeper and then Owlbear, huh? Yeah, that's definitely better. Oh, yes. If we can keep our Trelasara alive, we might be in business. Well, that's obnoxious. My poor Innkeeper. Poor Innkeeper. Alright, so we'll play Trelasara here. Yeah, I think we want the Priest. So, okay. Or they'll scoop. Yeah, Innkeeper plus Trelasara can just take away games. I mean, like I said when we drafted it, our deck isn't really like a green-white life gain deck. It's a green-white aggro deck that has a couple of little life gain combos in it. And we assembled one of them there, and it was going to get out of hand. I'm a little surprised they scooped when they did, but, you know. Well, you know, we started the day with a really ugly 0-3. Then we went 7-2. And we're 4-0 right now, so kind of made up for it. Alright, pretty good hand. Little curve out, 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop. You know, if this were Trelisara, it'd be way better. But you can't have it all. We only have one Trelisara after all. That rhymed. Are we 5-0? Nice. It's even better than I thought. So doing my chat on my phone definitely seems to have saved some memory on my computer. Only about 5% or so, but makes a difference. I'm also worse at looking at it, but I'll get used to it, just like I got used to normal chat. I don't hate that our opponent mulliganed when we have a pretty nice hand. Be better if we were on the play, of course. They are a black-red deck, though, so... Those are frightening. Turn 2 Kalane isn't really what I want to see. Often results in a turn 4 huge creature. But it's not a disaster. Making that a 2-4 is pretty legit because blocking it is... Makes me think they have another Kalane, but I kind of think... no, I'm not going to do it. Maybe I will. Because if they make treasure with this, and Kalane's in play, both of those things being true is going to be a nightmare. Yeah, we're going to block. If they're just making treasure, it's not so bad. If they play another Kalane, we've had decks with multiple Kalanes where we just sort of recklessly attack with it like that. The sound effects might be too loud. It seems to fluctuate for whatever reason. Let's play Priest of Ancient Lore. So this Horde Robber is going to hit us and make treasure here, which is not great. But not much I can do about it. Other than block it really ugly. I don't think that would have been worth it. Okay. Guess I play the Bard. Probably just gain the life. Because I'm not going to attack with the Priest in this scenario. So yeah, we'll just gain the life. I want the Priest back to block the Fangblade, and I want the Bard to block Horde Robber, so... Nice. That worked out. Play Fiddlebender, leave up Spoils of the Hunt, end our turn. Ooh, that's not so good. The good news is... Are they going to put on the Fangblade? Ah, that works out pretty well for us. We can actually kill it. We wouldn't have been able to kill the Horde Robber. Yeah, so let's do this in response. They can still equip it to their Horde Robber if they want to, but that'll allow me to attack for a whole lot. Which... they don't know, I'll probably be able to do anyway because I have Hunter's Mark. Yeah, so they're just going to attack because... or maybe they're not. So they have mana up, but it's not a lot and they have one card in their hand, so I think we just go for it here. And swing. We've broken through their defenses. Yeah, that's a problem. Now it's one we can deal with, albeit not this turn. And it's not like we can deal with it pretty. But we can run it over with our Inspiring Bard. Wonder whether it's better to just attack with everything here. Obviously, they'll block something small, but they'll take significant damage. Ooh. Well, now I think we probably just wait. Yeah. I think we just wait now. Right. Opponent is adding to the board. Okay. Roper's a pretty good thing to draw here. So I think we play the Roper, and then at the end of their turn, we're going to tap down one of their creatures, and then we'll swing out on our turn. And then tap down another one of their creatures. We don't want them to draw another creature or removal here, but even if they do, it's not complete disaster. So they haven't even gotten into the dungeon yet, right? So I think we just let this happen. Is this an opponent who also doesn't realize I can tap down 2 things with a monk every turn cycle? I hope so. Because if they don't, then we're gonna win here. Maybe they have a draw spell? No, I don't know. They've got something. Alright, so I think that probably means we win this. So tap down Blue Dragon. Then play a land, then go to combat. Attack with everything. Then use the monk to tap down the 4/3. Half Elf Monk was like the MVP, huh? Has been the MVP. 3, 5, 7, 8, 12. So 4, 7, 10, 12. So even without Bull Strength, I'm not sure they can avoid lethal here. I do not have 1-mana equipment, so that would be a funny use of Oswald, though. Right. Hey, Woody Blast. The draft has gone pretty well, I'd say. I think we're 6-0 now. I thought this was only our 5th game, but someone said we were 5-0, so I believe them. We did go 0-3 with our first draft, but then we went 7-2, and now we're trying to go 7-0? Question mark. Well, this kind of hand's going to try to keep us from going 7-0. We don't have any of our 2 drops. We have to draw a 3rd land before we can do anything, which is possible, but I think we have to mulligan it. Right, this is better. We don't have any white mana, but... Well, actually we do, because of our Innkeeper. Probably send back the Shepherd or the Prowler. I guess probably the Prowler. Yeah. Nice. So we're going to lead with Knoll Hunter. I know we're leaving some life on the board, sort of, but holding on to those, waiting to trigger those anyway. Uh-oh. So we're going to need our Minimus containment, or that Monk of, you know, their whole board's going to get really problematic for us. So I could play Innkeeper Basilisk here, but I might just play the Shepherd. Yeah, I think I'm just going to play the Shepherd. Thank you for the follow, Woody Blast. So they're going to Paladin class and make that a 2/2. Yes. Am I willing to give up this Knoll Hunter? Probably. I can still decide to kill it, but I don't think I do. I think I'm going to play the Basilisk because it'll let me kill anything. I could, again, have done Innkeeper Basilisk, but I think waiting is fine. Yeah, that's a 4/5. Thank you for the follow, No Talent Geek. Alright, so yeah, we're going to kill the 4/5. Attack, but we're in trouble. I mean, Paladin class is a tough one to beat. We do have Minimus Containment, but that's it. And, yeah, I mean, our deck doesn't really have a bomb. Okay, so I think we're probably just going to double spell here, finally. Go Innkeeper, Fiddlebender, because we're just trying to push through enough damage. I mean, they decided to use that there, probably because they're not under that much pressure, but we can maybe manufacture a little more pressure here. So, yeah, I think we go Innkeeper, Fiddlebender. We want to draw a land. If we do, Hunter's Mark can kill anything. I could have decided to not go wider here. And, yeah, but okay. That's not good. Land is, though. Okay, so... yeah, so we'll Hunter's Mark here. Kill the Unicorn. Then we'll attack with these three. God, I guess I could even attack with the Innkeeper if I really want to. That'll drop them to 4 if they decide to block our Innkeeper. And then Half-Elf Monk might finish the game out for us yet again. But there's a good chance they just go to 4 here anyway. I mean, I guess they'll block Fiddlebender. It's probably not worth it. I think the life it gains us will actually matter in terms of making this game go longer. Ah, so they're going to kill probably our Basilisk, I guess. They've probably had enough of that. Glad you enjoy the content, Woody Blast. The next limited review isn't that far away. In fact, this is my last stream for a few weeks while I get ready for the new format. So, this will hit us for 8 this turn, but we're at 28, so, and it might be even more than 8. They can put the Rapier on it, and, yeah. So they can hit us really hard here. If they play a creature, equip the Rapier, and attack us, it's going to hurt. And they can also make a Goblin, which will help them block, but I still have Half-Elf Monk, so... oh, crap. Okay. They can't really attack us, is the good news, because of Half-Elf Monk. So if they attack us with Planar Ally, they would lose. Well, that's not as good as I'd like it to be on this situation. I think we just end our turn, and then we're going to use Half-Elf Monk to tap down both blockers, hopefully. This will be the most work I've ever had Half-Elf Monk do if we manage to win off of it again, and we might. I think we just let them attack. This will be 12 damage if I do. This will be 12 also. So it'll be 17 total. I may as well tap one of them down, actually. Probably the planar ally, because we don't want them to get a goblin. So this is going to hurt. Okay. Alright, so I think we win now. We managed to beat out Paladin class. So we'll Spoils of the Hunt. Kill Dwarfold Champion. And yet again, Half-Elf Monk gets it done. It's crazy how many games we won with that exact play. Like, attack with everything and use Half-Elf Monk to do lethal. We did that, like, I want to say 3 games in a row, but I might be wrong. So that's a 7-0. We started the day with the absolute worst record you can get, an 0-3, and we finished it up with a 7-0. So yeah. Pretty sweet.